Everybody wants some blast of magic, 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 magic. Look up the magic in me.
Welcome back to Bob's Magic Emporium. It's time for the next episode of Magician 101, the show for all magicians. We have a lot of questions this week. I'm going to jump right into them. And we're going to start, make sure to post your questions down below for next week. I'll give them an answer. Alright, so the Future Magic 101 has the first comment of today's show. He commented on something I talked about last week, the box by Mark Southworth. And I have to make my personal apology here because when I talked about it, I didn't know the box did all this. So here's what he has to say. He said I was wrong that the box can only work with bills. He says I have the box and you can not only use bills, you can do it with cards, billets, etc. And also you can do the box from all angles. The bill only goes up in flames because of flash bills. You can also give the box for examination, unlike the Clarity box. So thank you for all that, Future Magic. I didn't know the box did all that. And it actually sounds really good. So maybe one day I'll have the box here at Bob's Magic Emporium to do for a Magic Monday. You never know. We'll see. Alright, and Mr. Tadpole221 says, Horizon by Matthew Wright is coming to my house. What is your take on the trick? I watched the demo and I actually read the description of the trick. And on the YouTube video that I watched, I think it was from Murphy's Magic Shop, they actually put in the description, it's a thread system. I do not use invisible thread. I hate working with it. Any trick that involves invisible thread, I hate. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. So I don't work with invisible thread, so I can't give you a take on the trick because it does use a thread system. So I'm guessing it will use invisible thread. That's just me. It could use some kind of different thread system, but I don't use invisible thread or any kind of thread. I don't use fishing line. I don't use anything like that. So, and some magicians don't, because some magicians think that it's not magical to use thread. And really, honestly, invisible thread, sometimes you have to have it set. And you got to find a way to set it. And sometimes the way they have you set the invisible thread in a lot of tricks, it doesn't really work very well. Because it doesn't really work. So I don't use invisible thread. Some people do, some people don't. Alright, Rangix. I'm sure I said your name wrong. I'm sorry if I did. He says, are you planning to go to Magic World 2014 in Arlington, Virginia? It is usually a pretty good convention and show. I'll get that right eventually. It's usually a pretty good convention and show. I don't know. I looked at the website. It looks kind of cool. There's some really good magicians who are actually going to be there. So maybe I'll go. It's $75. I'm not too keen on the price of it though because I'm trying to save my money this year. But maybe I'll go. You never know. Maybe I'll go. And if you're planning on coming to Arlington, Virginia to go to Magic World, then post in the comments down below. Let me know. And maybe if enough YouTubers are going, maybe I'll stop by and go. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Alright, Tim Baldwin has next question. Hey Bob, I'm looking to bone up on my false cuts and shuffles. First of all, that sounds like a personal problem. You maybe not want to post that next time. No, I'm kidding. Just kidding. That's supposed to be a joke. That's a terrible joke. I know. He says, do you know any good resources for stuff like that? I know Magic Geek, haha, has a download, which maybe I'll try. But you know, any other good resources? Thanks. Alright, a lot of magic books are really good. A lot of magic books have false shuffles and cuts in their pages. Especially the Magic for Dummies book has a couple. I've flipped through it and I've read it a couple times too. But to see if I can find any new tricks. But the Magic for Dummies has a section just about false. Or no, they don't. They have false cuts and shuffles spread throughout the card trick section. So that's a really good resource. The Magic Geek download for the false shuffles is really good too. I do like that one. I downloaded it and I learned a false shuffle from that I didn't even know that you could do. So it's definitely worth it. And there's a DVD out there on the market called False Shuffle DVD. But I wouldn't recommend buying a DVD because you can buy the Magic Geek download for $4.99, I believe it is. And you can just go to YouTube and search false shuffles or false cuts. And you can find a bunch of people who have posted false cuts and false shuffles on YouTube. So I would check YouTube first and see if you can learn a couple false cuts and false shuffles. And if you're thinking about adding more false cuts and false shuffles to your card tricks, definitely do it because a false cut and a false shuffle can be very deceiving and can look like you're mixing the deck up and really you're keeping it the way that you want. So definitely check out false cuts and add some more false cuts or shuffles to your show if you don't already have enough in your card tricks. All right. Perry, like I always say, I'm not going to try to pronounce your last name. I'm just asking, but when do you think the Digital Magician of the Year contest will be, like, official, and you will say what we have to do and stuff like that? All right. I am still finalizing a couple of the rules. Still trying to finalize a couple of the rules, and I'm also trying to finalize just a couple more things. So when I get all that stuff finalized, then it will be official, which I hope to have it maybe in 2 to 3 weeks. Don't hold me to that. It could be next week. It could be in 4 or 5 weeks. Don't hold me to a certain time, but we will be doing it, and I promise it will be finished by, I'm not finished. We will start the contest by hopefully March. We will start it by March. So that is my plan. I'm really hoping to start it in the next 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. I'm hoping. We will see. I don't know. Maybe after Valentine's Day I'll start it. I don't really know. Work is a little crazy right now, so we're getting all of our Valentine's Day product in at work, so I don't know. We'll see. But I'm not going to talk about that in this video, so don't worry about that. But hopefully I say within the next 2 weeks. I hope to have it. All right. And Jay Brothwick has the final question, as always. He says, hey, mate, I'm so happy you like it all. Thanks so much for the shout-out. If you didn't see my video, Jay Brothwick sent me a yo-yo, 2 decks of cards. I have actually these 2 decks of cards right here. The red and the blue back jumbo, and he also sent me a DVD, which is Trickster, his series Trickster that he posts on his YouTube channel. It's all of Season 1 of Trickster. Season 2 of Trickster will start very, very soon, according to Jay Brothwick. This is really cool, though. It's the entire Series 1 on DVD, which is really neat. You can watch all the episodes of Trickster. I watched a couple of them. I put that DVD right there. I watched a couple of them over the weekend, but I haven't had a chance to watch it all. So maybe today I'll finish watching it. All right. So, you're welcome, Jay, and I love my stuff. So, he has a couple questions, and he says, so what do you think of Aster Epic predicted mental magic trick? All right, that is a killer trick. I have the tiny, small pocket version of it. And if you don't know the trick, you have 3 predictions that are covered up, and you say, okay, I'm going to make my prediction. So you make a prediction, you say, okay, give me a 3-digit number. You can do something like a 3-digit number, and then they'll tell you it. And then you write your next prediction down, and then they'll say, okay, give me a color, and they'll say green. Then you'll write their answer down, and then you'll say, okay, let's get a playing card selected. Before we do that, though, let me make my prediction. You cover up all 3 after you do each prediction, and then they cut to a playing card. You can use anything you want. It can be a playing card, it can be something else, whatever. And then at the end of the trick, all 3 of your predictions match what they said. Really cool. And the only bad thing about the one that Jay asked is it's very expensive. It's like $378 American dollars. So, and that's very expensive. The higher, the bigger the pocket, or the bigger Aster Epic mental boards, the bigger you go, the more expensive they're going to be. So that's just kind of something that you want to take into account. They actually, I think, have some medium-sized ones that aren't too expensive, so you could definitely check out like a medium-sized one. The one that Jay asked about, though, is like a huge one for stage. It's like really big. It's for stage magic. All right, he also wants to know about Sword in the Neck. Do you think it's a good trick? Oh, Sword in the Neck is a fantastic trick. I love the Sword in the Neck trick because, you know, the really cool thing about the trick is you start by putting the sword in the stocks, and the spectator can feel the sword touching their neck. And you say, oh, you can feel that. Uh-oh, I must have done something. Wait a minute. Oh, we have to say the magic words. Then you plunge the sword all the way through, and it sticks out the back, and it's really cool. Freaks people out. Even though that the trick looks simple, because when I first saw it, I'm like, oh, that's simple. But it really is deceiving when you actually do it. So it's really cool. And it's not a trick that's just for Halloween either. You can actually do that trick year-round, which I think is good too. All right, so definitely if you're thinking about getting that, I would recommend that because that's a really good trick. And he also wants to know about the Spirit Slates. Oh, Spirit Slates is one of those classics of magic. And that is where you have a blank chalkboard, you put a piece of chalk inside, and then some word or some phrase or something that maybe you force to the spectator, like a playing card, is in these slates. So like you'll say to the spectator, pick a card, they'll pick one, and then you'll close up these 2 chalkboards, open them up, and then on the slate is written their card, which of course you force to the spectator. So it's really cool. The Spirit Slates, classic of magic, a lot of people do it, and it's a really good trick. So I recommend that one as well. Well, I want to get one of those too, and they also have pocket-sized versions of the Spirit Slates as well. All right, and he says strong box. All right, now I did forget about the strong box. I looked that up and I realized that the trick I was talking about last week was not the strong box. That was the light heavy box, the one I talked about last week. With the you put the silk inside and the box gets really heavy and a big burly man can't pick it up, and then a little girl or something comes up. You take the silk out and they can lift the box straight up. It's really cool. The strong box is something kind of like this. This is, I never knew what this was. This is kind of like a makeshift strong box kind of deal. The strong box is a box like this, and you can lock it up, and you can put something inside of it, and you can cover it up with a silk and or a handkerchief or something like that and have it vanish. Or the process works in reverse. You could show the box empty, and then you could close the box up, lock it, and you could put and something appears inside of the box, which is cool too. So you could do like a ring vanish, and then have the ring appear inside this box that has been shown empty and locked. And I used to use this as the finale to my shows before I got my big Nest of Boxes trick. I used to use this as the finale. I would borrow like a ring or a bill or something. Actually, I would borrow the dollar bill and do the same routine. If you watch the 365-day magic challenge when I did perfect penetration, the counterfeit detector, and then the Nest of Boxes, I used to do the same routine. I do the perfect penetration, the counterfeit detector, shred the bill, and then the bill would appear inside this box. And I would have a spectator, a different one, hold this box from the start of the show. So I'd say, you hang on to it, don't let anybody open it, you don't even touch the box. I don't want you to even touch it. And then at the end of the show, I'd call for it, and then we'd have the spectator unlock it, and inside would be the bill. So this is a really, really great trick. So thank you, Jay, for telling me what this trick was, because now I finally know the name of that trick. And Jay also wants to know, thanks, mate. Would you say magic has helped you with your confidence in school and in life? Yes and no to one of those. No to the school part, because I didn't really start doing magic until about 3 months before I graduated high school. So I didn't have a chance to show off my magic mad skills, as one of my coworkers says to me all the time. You have magic mad skills. But it does help you in life, because I think, first of all, as you probably already know, that I've talked about a couple times on my channel before, I have autism, a little bit of autism, and I think going out there and doing the magic, actually having to get up in front of people and talk, or do like where you do street magic or close-up magic, you have to go out there and you actually have to talk to people one-on-one sometimes, or two-on-two, or one-on-two, or one-on-three. It really helps get over that, to make you be less shy, or to bring out the confident person in you. So, and also other stuff also helped me to do that as well. But I think magic was a key part of that. Like working retail and having to talk to customers, that also helps me get over, not being able to talk to people and being more confident with my talking abilities. All right, now, there's one question. I don't know who posted it, because I asked them to repost it about 3 weeks ago, and I keep forgetting to mention it. There was a question, I think, about a month ago, or about 4 or 5 weeks ago, and the person said, what do you think? I think it was Mr. Tadpole, 221. It might have been. I can't remember. But anyways, they asked, what do you think of the new 2014 Tenyo line? I've been meaning to talk about this question, and I've been meaning to put it in my question list each week, and I keep forgetting, and I finally remember. So 2014 Tenyo line. There are 4 2014 Tenyo tricks, and one of them is a trick that's already on the market. It is, we're going to start first with the trick that, I don't know if I really like this trick or not. It is, where's my DVD of it? Oh, Extreme Burn. They put out their own version of Extreme Burn, and where you have these blank pieces of paper, and you do the Extreme Burn move, and then, boom, they change into dollar bills or hundreds or whatever you want to change them into. So, I don't know if I'm going to get that one, but the other 3 look really, really cool. The one I'm really excited about, the one I know I'm definitely going to get, is they have a deck of cards, you put them up to your neck, and the cards go in your neck. You can actually see them go in your neck, which I think is really, really cool. So I'm definitely going to get that one. And there's another one where you have blank cards, and you have the spectator reach into a deck of cards. I think it's grab 3, or it might be even 4 random cards out of the deck. And then you pull these blank cards out of this little, they call it the printing machine, and they come out with the correct card on it. It looks really cool, and I'm really excited. That's one I'm definitely going to get as well, I think. And then the final one is this one where you have a die and kind of like a metal screen kind of deal. You have this metal screen, you're on one side, spectators on the other, and they put a die to whatever number they want. So let's say they do 6, and then you lift up the screen, and the die you have on your side is also a 6. Like, you could see what they were doing. But, of course, the screen would block your view. So the spectator would be, like, about out here, so the screen would be blocking your line of vision. So you can't see what number, obviously, that they chose. You would tell them, pick a number, I think you even say, I'll turn away as you pick your number, and put it right here in front of the screen. Then you turn away, and then, like I say, you can read what number they put. That one, I don't know if I'm going to get either. But I'm definitely going to get the card printing one and the cards through net, because those two look really cool. Alright, so that's going to do it this week for Magician 101. Thank you guys so much for all the great questions, and I'm going to be back next Wednesday to answer more questions, so post those questions down below for next week, and I'll give them an answer. Have a great week, everyone. I pour it right inside of here, and notice that the milk, of course, you get the 2 tubes, and you get a certain amount of bottles. Let me grab one of the bottles. He was on a roll with hole-in-one. Not only did he sink the putt on his first shot, but he also got the $500